Alex, the Rapping Parrot. Episode 2, Searching for Kate. The sun shone on the tropical island of Euphoria. Alex lay in his hammock, listening to the macaws and cockatoos jamming and rapping. The cockatoos were the newest inhabitants of the island. It was nice to see the macaws and cockatoos having fun together. Alex didn't join in on the fun. He was tired and didn't feel like doing anything.
Come on, Alex. You've been lying in that hammock for days. Why don't you make music with us? Why don't you play and dance with us so much anymore?
Alex shook his head. I don't know, Violet. I like it a lot here, but...
But what? Just say it.
It's the new cockatoos.
What do you mean? They're nice, right? They don't hurt anyone. Are they annoying to you?
No, they're not.
Are you sad that you're not our latest edition now? Are you angry that you're no longer Arrow of the Week? Don't be silly, Alex.
It's not that. Ever since the new cockatoos arrived, I've realized... I miss Kate. Her jokes, her conversations, the way we sang songs together. She was so good at keeping up. And the way she made fun of the boring bird gang. That was just brilliant. There was no one who could do that better than her.
If you miss someone, you should let them know. Did you have any contact with her after you left Quiet?
I gave the carrier pigeons a letter that was meant for her, but I never got a reply. Alex bowed his head. He was ashamed. Had he misunderstood the situation? Had their friendship meant nothing? He quickly wiped the tear in his eye away. He didn't want Violet to see him like that. To her, he was the cool, tough parrot. When I didn't get an answer, I also tried bottle mail. I put a note in a bottle and threw it into the sea. I don't know if it got very far, because I didn't get an answer to that either. I don't know. Maybe she never wants to see me again. She's probably angry with me. Angry that I left. Otherwise, she would have replied to my letter. Wouldn't she?
Maybe she is angry with you, but you don't know that. You can't start thinking for someone else. That's not fair. You have to ask her yourself and not start making assumptions.
Violet wrapped a wing around Alex. She found it hard to see her island friend sad and glum.
Maybe the carrier pigeons flew wrong. There are carrier pigeons with a bad sense of direction who make mistakes, aren't there? Ruben's letters to his parents in the zoo never arrived either.
Alex sat up straight in the hammock. Maybe Violet was right.
There's only one way to find out how Kate feels about you.
Send another letter?
No, silly. We're going to see her.
The crossing went smoothly. Alex still knew the way. Since his trip from Quiet to Euphoria, he had the route memorized. Straight ahead, not in a straight line across the lake, but on the right. He didn't want to encounter those geese again. That's why Alex had thought of another route. It was longer, but safer. Alex and Violet flew the long distance in silence. They flew low, at a steady and even pace, because Violet was not a high flyer. She used to be, and had even been on the Olympic high flyer team, but couldn't anymore after injuring one of her wings. From then on, she decided to take it easy. She liked it very much. On Euphoria, she never had to fly much. She could walk everywhere. Once they crossed the lake, the end was in sight. They flew past the greenhouses with the cockatoos, past the zoo, and took the exit to Quiet. They could see the village in the distance. As always, it was dead quiet. The only thing that made a sound was the wind that made the leaves dance. Violet laughed nervously when they reached the entrance of the village. She wasn't used to silence. She picked at her piercing for a moment, frowning at the feathers above her eyebrows.
What a strange village this is. Do only birds who have lost their voices live here?
Quiet is for everyone, all ages, young and old, with or without a voice. Silence is part of this village. Noise is seen as a nuisance. Music, too.
No wonder you fled. I wouldn't last a second here.
Come on, let's go find Kate. We'll be out of here soon. How crazy. This was always the entrance. And now? Ow!
He bumped his beak on the fence.
Now, what is this? This fence is new.
Look, there's a sign. It says, "Forbidden access."
Forbidden access? That was crazy. What was going on? Alex thought the Boring Bird Gang must be behind it. Everything was being controlled. Everywhere was gray and drab. All that whispering and walking in the shadows made Alex think back to his time in quiet with a shudder. He'd run away for a reason. Well, he hadn't really run away. He'd been sent away. Alex had broken the rules for the umpteenth time. He'd started rapping at the Fountain of Silence and had been expelled from quiet. Alex hung his head again. How was he ever going to find Kate? It had been a rash plan. Where could she be? And did she even want to see him? Violet flew around him. He pulled himself together quickly. He had a mission. He had to find Kate.
Come, let's fly around the fence. She usually hangs out by the church or the fountain. I'll fly ahead. You stay here.
Alex flew silently over quiet, searching the roofs. He didn't see any birds. They must be in their cages inside. That was good for Alex. It was better that nobody saw him here. But then he saw a familiar face. It was Christian, Kate's brother. Christian didn't belong to the Boring Birds gang. He was a chill, friendly cockatoo.
Christian, psst, here. Do you remember me? I need your help.
Christian looked around and then saw Alex sitting in the gutter above him. What are you doing here? You're not allowed to be here.
I'm looking for your sister. It's urgent. Do you know where she is?
I would look at our house or at the church. She often sits there. You know, on that tree by the entrance. The tallest tree in quiet. Should I fly with you or can you find it yourself?
I'll find it myself. But maybe you can distract the Boring Birds gang? They must not see me here. And don't tell anyone you saw me, okay?
That's fine. If you promise to be nice to my sister.
I promise. Of course. I promise.
Alex wanted to go straight to Kate and Christian's house. But then he realized that the church was closer, so went there first instead. He knew the tree. They used to cackle and sing from the highest branches. Alex would rap and sing while Kate sang along with her beautiful soprano voice. He was almost at the church when he heard a voice behind him. So, it's the silly rapper. I hoped you disappeared for good. It was Simon, the leader of the Boring Bird Gang. He looked at Alex from head to toe. Alex felt the stress of being stared at in all his feathers. What are you doing here, Alexander? You are not allowed here, remember? The Bird Authority has instructed you not to come here again.
I won't be staying long. Don't be afraid.
Afraid of you? Dozens of birds arrived and perched. They flapped their wings up and down, as quietly as possible. Away, Alex. You have to leave, you weird macaw.
I'm going already.
He wiped the sweat off his head, dusted his wings, and flew back to the tree just outside the village, where Violet would be waiting for him.
And? Tell me.
I almost found her. Her brother said she was in a tree by the church. I was almost at the tree when I ran into the boring bird gang. They sent me away. I was so close.
Alex shook his head in frustration.
Stay here. I'm going to go look for her. You don't have to tell me what she looks like because you've told me so many times already.
Violet took flight. It didn't take her long to get up in the air. She may not have been a high flyer, but she was fast. Alex hid in the tree and waited. Alex picked at his feathers with his beak. It was a habit he couldn't stop, and one that he did when he got nervous. He squinted. Did he see something in the distance? It was low flying. It could be Violet, or was it a cockatoo? Was it Kate? It came closer, and he saw it clearly now. There were two figures. It was them. It was them. Alex jumped in the air and flew in a small circle around the tree.
Stay put. They'll see you.
Alex quickly flew back to his branch.
Kate, I'm so glad to see you again.
Kate came flying in. Her crest was perfect as always. She was glowing, and her feet were neatly groomed.
Alex, it's really you.
She spread her wings and flapped them up and down.
Silly, where have you been all this time? I need a big hug from you.
I live in Euphoria now. It's a beautiful island and it's really fantastic there. I'll tell you the whole story later. You must come with us. I think you'll really like it there too.
I don't know, Alex. It sounds fun, but it's quite a surprise. I never heard from you after you left, and now suddenly you're in front of my beak?
I understand that. You didn't get my letter then?
What letter? Don't you know that a lot has changed in Quiet? Everything has changed here. The boring bird gang changed everything. The fence is new. No foreign birds are allowed inside. There are big fines and punishments for everything. No mail is allowed. All letters are confiscated.
What? But that's terrible. How awful to hear all those rules. But now I understand why you didn't write back. I was afraid you never wanted to see me again.
No, silly. I love you. You know that, right?
I love you too, Kate. Come with us to Euphoria.
Kate hesitated. Live somewhere else. She had lived here all her life. This was her home. No matter how stupid and boring it was here, she couldn't just leave. Give up everything? Besides, she had Christian. She couldn't just leave her brother here, so she told Alex she couldn't go. Alex looked sad. He had the same glum, dull look he'd had in the hammock. He knew it had been a stupid plan. All that effort for nothing. Why did he think Kate would follow him like that? Of course not. What a fool he was. Violet couldn't look at Alex, who was so glum.
What if Christian comes along too? Well, that's not actually a bad idea. We could ask him. If he wants to, I'll go too. I'm going to ask, all right? But if he wants to stay here, then I'm staying here too.
What a heroine Violet was. She had a solution for everything. When Kate asked Christian, he hesitated. He liked a new adventure, but he did not want to leave their mom alone. But perhaps he could just go for a little while and check it out? He could always come back. If you don't try, you never know, he thought.
In the end, you only regret the things you did not do. And let's agree we will visit Mum regularly, okay?
She was right, Christian thought. He could at least give it a try, and protect his little sister at the same time. Within 5 minutes, Christian and Kate arrived. They were coming with Alex and Violet to Euphoria. The four of them flew to the island and did a little dance when they finally landed.
This is your new home, Kate and Christian. What do you think of it?
Kate and Christian looked around. They saw dozens of dancing, happy cockatoos and macaws. No silence, no rules, just a lot of fun.
I think I'm gonna have a good time. And I'm very happy to be with you again.
She winked at Alex. Alex blushed. There was no happier macaw than him.
Thank you for listening to an Able Original.